Stop struggling alone with English. Join us today, hit subscribe, and let's flow to fluency together.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're looking at the language we use to talk about learning itself.
Right. Taking those everyday school words and really unpacking them.
Exactly. Think back to your own school days for a moment. The classroom, teachers, homework, exams. Sometimes fun, sometimes maybe a bit stressful.
Definitely a mix.
Well, today we're diving into 10 simple English words that are like the bedrock of that whole school and study life.
And it's fascinating, isn't it, how these basic terms we use all the time actually shape how we think about education, how we learn. It goes surprisingly deep.
It really does. We'll explore each one and then stick around because I'll have a fun recap and a question for you at the end. Sound good?
Let's do it.
Okay, first up, maybe the most central figure, teacher. The simple definition is a person who teaches us. The example given is, my teacher is very kind. Seems obvious, but what's beneath the surface here?
Well, that definition, a person who teaches, it really highlights the core function, doesn't it? It's about direct guidance, that transfer of knowledge. But the example, my teacher is very kind, that's actually quite telling. It subtly points towards something crucial, the relationship aspect. It's not just about the information.
So it's not just a knowledge download, the kindness, the connection that matters too.
Absolutely. That relationship can be, fundamental to how well someone learns. It creates trust, makes you feel safe enough to actually learn.
That makes sense. I can definitely think of teachers where that connection made a huge difference for me. Okay, so from the teacher, we naturally go to the student definition, someone who learns. And the example, I am a student of English. Again, simple, but what's the deeper layer?
Someone who learns. I like that phrasing because it emphasizes learning as an active, an ongoing journey, you could say.
Right, not just someone who is taught, but someone who learns, active.
Precisely. And the example, I am a student of English, that's great because it takes the idea beyond just formal school, doesn't it?
Yeah, you could be a student of anything, really, at any age.
Exactly. It suggests this continuous process, this personal commitment to acquiring knowledge in any field, whether you're in a classroom or, learning online or just reading a book. It's about embracing that identity.
So these two roles, teacher and student, they're completely intertwined, aren't they? One guides, the other actively seeks and learns.
They're two sides of the same coin, essentially.
Okay, number 3, book. Our source describes it as full of knowledge. Example. This book is very interesting. We all know what a book is, but let's unpack its significance.
Oh, the book. It's so much more than paper and ink, isn't it?
Right.
It's like this powerful symbol, a vessel holding accumulated knowledge, ideas, stories, passed down through time.
A vessel of knowledge. I like that.
And think about the structure.
Yeah.
Chapters, maybe an index. It teaches us how to organize information, too, implicitly.
Never thought of it that way.
And that word interesting in the example, that's key, too. It highlights that how knowledge is presented, if it's engaging, massively impacts learning. It needs to capture our attention.
True. A dry book is hard work, no matter how much knowledge is technically in there. It's amazing to hold all that potential information in your hands, though.
It really is.
All right, from the book, let's get more specific with word 4, notebook. Definition, where we write notes. Example, I write my homework in a notebook. Seems pretty functional.
Functional, yes, but crucially important for active learning. The notebook isn't just for storage. It represents engagement. It's where you process the information yourself.
How so?
Well, the act of writing things down, especially by hand, helps you synthesize, interpret. You're essentially personalizing the knowledge, making it your own.
Right, you're not just passively receiving it, like maybe just reading a book. You're doing something with it.
Exactly. It's a tool for thinking, for making connections.
Yeah.
And linking it to homework in the example shows that direct application using it to practice and solidify what you've learned.
So it's a simple tool, but it really represents that active processing part of studying. Very practical.
Very practical and very effective.
Okay, and that leads us perfectly to word number 5, homework, defined as study work at home. The example is, I finished my homework before playing. Many of us have lived that one.
Yes, I think we all have. But study work at home. What that really does is extend the learning environment, doesn't it? It says learning isn't just confined to school hours or the classroom.
It requires effort outside of that structure.
Right. It emphasizes continuous effort, self-discipline. And that example, before playing, speaks volumes about prioritizing.
Yeah, it's about delaying gratification, managing your time, discipline.
Exactly. It's about building those habits, that self-regulation, finishing the task before the fun. That's a big life skill, really, learned through the simple routine of homework.
It really is. That balance between study and, well, everything else. A universal challenge.
Indeed.
All right, word 6. This one can cause some anxiety. Exam. The source calls it a test of knowledge. Example. I have an exam tomorrow. What's the deep dive here?
Well, an exam is fundamentally about assessment, right? A formal way to measure what's supposedly been learned. It provides a snapshot.
That snapshot, okay.
But it's often a very specific kind of snapshot. It tests how well you perform under pressure, often focusing on recall. Does it always capture deep understanding or creativity? That's debatable.
That's a fair point. Sometimes it feels more like testing memory than real learning.
It can, yeah. And the example, I have an exam tomorrow, perfectly captures that feeling of anticipation, maybe stress. It highlights the practical reality of having to demonstrate your knowledge in that specific format.
Yeah, that uh-oh, gotta perform feeling definitely evokes a specific emotion for most people. Okay, number 7, back to a basic tool. Pen, used for writing. Simple as that. Example. She writes a letter with a pen.
Simple definition, but think about it. The pen is this incredibly fundamental tool for expressing thought, for recording ideas, communicating.
Externalizing what's in your head.
Exactly. It's essential for taking notes, doing homework, connecting back to our other words, but also for things like writing a letter, which is about personal connection. There's also research suggesting the physical act of writing with a pen aids memory and processing differently than typing.
Interesting. So even this basic tool has layers, learning, expression, communication, even how our brain processes things.
It's surprisingly powerful for such a simple object.
Okay, let's broaden out again with word 8. Class, definition. A group of students learning together. And the example. Our English class is very fun. What's important about the group aspect?
The social dimension. Learning together is key. It highlights that education isn't always solitary. There's huge value in collaboration, discussion, hearing different perspectives.
Right, bouncing ideas off each other.
Precisely. Shared experience, collective problem solving. Sometimes you learn as much from your peers as from the teacher. And that word fun in the example, it underscores how a positive, engaging group environment can really boost motivation and make learning stick.
Yeah, a good class dynamic makes a world of difference. It's not just about the subject matter, but the shared energy.
Absolutely. That collective aspect is powerful.
Number 9, another classroom staple, blackboard, where the teacher writes, example, the teacher writes the lesson on the blackboard. Seems straightforward.
It does, but the blackboard or, the whiteboard these days serves as this central visual focus point for the whole class.
Right, everyone's looking at the same thing.
Exactly. It's where the teacher guides the lesson, makes abstract ideas visible, builds concepts step by step. It creates a shared space, a shared understanding unfolding in real time. It symbolizes that shared information flow guided by the teacher for the class.
It's like the public canvas for the lesson. Even with all the tech we have now, there's something about that shared visual space.
There really is. Its simplicity is often its strength. It keeps everyone literally on the same page.
A very enduring image in education. Okay, finally, word number 10. The big one, maybe. Learn. Definition. To get knowledge. Example. I learn new English words every day.
Yes, the ultimate purpose. To get knowledge. This word basically ties everything else together, doesn't it? Teacher, student, book, notebook, homework, class. They all serve this fundamental goal.
It's the why behind all the other words.
Exactly. It represents that continuous, active process of acquiring understanding, developing skills. And in the example, I learn new English words every day. I love that because it emphasizes the ongoing nature. Learning isn't something you just do in school and then stop.
Right. It's a daily thing, potentially.
Lifelong. It's lifelong. It's about constantly adapting, growing, understanding more about the world and yourself. It's the core engine.
Wow. So from the teacher guiding to the student engaging, using books and pens, working through homework and exams, often together in a class focused on a blackboard. It all culminates in this act, to learn.
Beautifully put. That's the journey.
Okay, that was a fantastic exploration. Let's just quickly run through those 10 words again. Teacher, student, book, notebook, homework, exam, pen, class, blackboard, and learn.
And listening to them all together, you really hear how interconnected they are, right? They build on each other to create this whole picture, this ecosystem of learning. It's not just a random list.
Not at all. each one plays a specific role in that fundamental human activity of getting knowledge. So now we turn it over to you, our listeners. We've unpacked these words, and here's my question for you. Who is your favorite teacher and why? Think about what made them special.
Yeah, and as you reflect, maybe try using some of these words we discussed. What made them a great teacher? How did they help you learn? Was it something they wrote on the blackboard or the way they structured the class? Thinking about it that way can really solidify these ideas.
Great suggestion. So mull that over. We've covered a lot today. 10 words that are foundational to school and study. Words that will definitely help you in everyday English, but hopefully also give you a new perspective on learning itself.
And remember, the key takeaway here isn't just listening. It's practice. Don't just hear these words. Use them. Talk about them with friends. Maybe even just say them out loud to yourself. That active recall is how you really make them stick.
Absolutely. Practice is everything. And, really understanding these building blocks, it sets you up for learning almost anything new. The principles kind of carry over.
That's exactly right. Mastering these fundamentals prepares you for any new domain. Which actually brings us to a little teaser for tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll learn 10 travel and airport vocabulary words. A completely different area, but you'll see how the same principles of breaking down language apply. So, simple words can unlock complex new worlds.
Nice. Looking forward to that. So keep thinking, keep practicing, and keep learning. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
Until next time. The experience and the feeling